Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Sara from Blessed Homeschool. Today I'm going to take you with me as I plan out our classes for the upcoming homeschool year using an online homeschool planner I love, Homeschool Planet. So it's the end of June here, and believe it or not, we're going to be starting school in the next week or two. I say starting, but we really haven't stopped completely this summer. I just mean we'll be slow rolling into our new curriculum. This is the first year we really haven't taken a specific break over the summer. Usually we stop all traditional type lessons, but this year we kept going with math, spelling for my girls, science, and history. We also started the Generous Students Homeschool Curriculum Kit, which I reviewed in my last video. Now we did slow down a lot, meaning we didn't do a full load every day, but my kids did do math every day, and we did the other subjects when we could, leaving room for lots of other fun summer activities too. The reason that I begin my official school year in July is because this is when we're able to start logging our homeschool hours that are required by the state. So anything educational we do from July 1st on, I can log it. If you have to keep similar records or track other state requirements, I highly recommend Homeschool Haul for this, and you can check out a couple of videos I've done on them to learn more. All right, even though I start logging hours in July, we don't go right into a full load. We'll start with one subject a week, do that for a week, and then add on another subject the next week, and so on until we're up to our full load. This year will look a little bit different because I used BJU Press the last 3 years, where every subject was very much separate. This year we're using My Father's World, where it's a little bit more integrated. So it's gonna look a little bit different, but we're still gonna ease into things slowly. So what I'm gonna do now is actually share my screen with you and talk you through how I set up my school year and how I'm going to add classes to the planner. And I'll also share how I'm gonna have my kids using Homeschool Planet to help them stay organized and on track next year. This may be kind of a boring video. I don't know if you wanna sit and watch me type everything into Homeschool Planet, but if you aren't familiar with the tool or you haven't done this before, you don't know if it's something that you wanna do, it might be helpful for you just to see what the process looks like or how I do it. I don't know. So if you're interested, let's go. All right, here we go. So I'm logged into our Homeschool Planet, and the first thing I want to do is just show you how I have our school year set up already. So this is under settings, and under school years, this is where I set up our new school year for 2023 and 2024. So in here, you can set your first day, your last day. You can select which days are going to be class days. And here you can even select if there are certain holidays you want to make sure show up on your calendar, and it'll automatically mark those as days off. You can go in and edit any of those as needed. So you can see it shows you my calendar right here, and the green check marks are days that we're going to have school. I've already kind of went in and X'd out some days that we're going to be taking breaks and that we won't have school. So I set all that up ahead of time, and you can see it shows me at the top the total number of school days that I have planned right now. And every month it'll show you kind of at the bottom any holidays or things that are coming up. So that is for this school year. And if I click to subjects, this is where I set up all the different subject areas that we're going to be covering. So I added all of our subjects here. You can color code them, whatever color you want to make them. So this is just what I have set up. And then you can select whether they're core classes or non-core classes. This is really helpful if you do have to track hours. I don't necessarily like using Homeschool Planet for tracking hours. Like I mentioned, I much prefer Homeschool Haul and their interface, but there are options where you can track your hours within Homeschool Planet if you want to use one program for all of that. And then here with category, these are for things that aren't necessarily your subjects. So I set up categories for chores, field trips, core and non-core, and then miscellaneous. I honestly have not used these very much, but I have them set up there just in case. And just real quick, the grading tab, this is where you can set up your categories for grading, your grading scales if you want to. Again, we don't use this much right now, but it is here if you want to. Okay, so let's get into our calendar and actually planning things for the next year. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move into next week. And you'll see we have no school on Tuesday, it's 4th of July. And I do have some items on the calendar already. We've been working through our heritage studies this summer, and so you'll see some of those lessons on there. And the only other thing that I have on here right now is our Bible curriculum. We started this a couple of weeks ago, and I did not have to fill any of this in. I got this lesson plan from the Homeschool Planet's lesson plan marketplace, and it loads it all in for you. So they've got tons of lesson plans from lots of different curriculum companies, and they're not too expensive. You can purchase those lesson plans and it will automatically fill in your calendar for you based on the guidelines you set. So super helpful. Everything is planned out. I just have to tell it where I want to go. And then from there, it's really easy to rearrange if I need to. All right, there are just a couple of things that I do want to do for this week. Last year when I set this up, I put our different subjects at different times during the day. I kind of had them scheduled. And this year, I don't want to do that. I just want to have more of a running list of what the kids want to get done each day. We're not going to be super sticklers about the time. I don't know if I'll change that later, but I do want to change this so I take the time off. So what I'm going to do is I'll click into it and I can edit it. I'll go into change schedule, change the schedule in other ways. I'm going to select no particular time. We'll hit save, save and close, and then it takes that time frame off of it. So what happened before when I had all the different times, it would put them in order of what time I wanted them done, and I don't necessarily need that this year. What else I want to add to this week is our music practice. So I do have the kids practice music daily. So I'm going to click just anywhere in that spot, and it's going to pull up where I can add either a class, birthday, or everything else. I'm going to click on everything else, and the activity, I'm going to just call this music practice. And it is going to be, I am going to have it different days for my different kids. So for my category, let's just go ahead and add a category called music. We'll make it this color. Close that. And let's do this one just for, this is going to be for Luke and Carly. They have lessons on the same day, so I want both of them to be practicing on the days that they don't have lessons. So I'm going to click on when I want them to practice. So we're going to do selected days of the week. Starting the 4th, we're going to go until the end of our school year, which is going to be the end of June 2024. And then for the days of the week, they have class on Friday. So I'm going to uncheck that. And I'm going to uncheck the weekends too, just because I don't typically have them log into Homeschool Planet on the weekends. And then what I'm going to want to do to make the little check boxes appear, you want to have an assignment in here. I don't typically have an assignment other than practice your music. So what I'll do is in this task section, I'll just type in practice instrument, and then we'll click add. This is going to make all of the tasks the same, and it's going to add all of those assignments to the lesson plan. So I don't have to do it all by hand. It will add them all at once, and it's going to add them for both Carly and Luke. That's all in there, and then we'll hit save and close. Okay, that is really bright. I don't know if I like that or not, but you'll see that that's showing up. So it's a bright color because it's not a class, it's just an extra task that I want them to do. And that's why it's also showing up on the no school day. I may decide to take that off. I'm not sure. We're going to be busy that day, but you'll see that it shows up on every day except for Friday. And it has the little check boxes in here. So when Luke logs into his calendar, he's just going to see his name. He won't see Carly's tasks. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for Emma. So we'll add this. Music practice. It's going to be music. We're going to do this for Emma. Selected days of the week. She practices on Wednesday, so we're going to uncheck that. We're going to go to June 2024 again. And again, the great thing is I can come in and edit this at any time. I'm not going to be locked in. If I want to change my schedule, it's really easy to do. She practices the violin, so we're going to add this assignment. It's going to give me the same prompts. It's going to create all those assignments, and we'll save and close. All right, so that assignment is added all throughout my calendar for the rest of the school year. Another similar task I wanted to add is chores. I like to put a little task box on here for chores so that when my kids log in each day, they are reminded that they have chores to do. So again, we'll click in here, we'll click everything else. And I had 2 separate boxes last year for morning chores and afternoon chores. I'm just going to call it daily chores this year. We'll select chores. This is going to be for all the kids. Selected days of the week. We're going to end it, at the end of our school year. And again, they have these daily, so I'm going to uncheck the weekend. And I'm just going to, so they all have the little checkbox. I'm just going to call this morning and afternoon chores. Yeah, let's just call it morning and afternoon chores. So once those are done, they can check this box off. And we'll add that, same prompts, and it'll create those tasks for all the kids. Okay, there they are, a little bit less bright. I like that. So, okay, that is on there. Okay, the final thing I'm going to add this week is our daily devotional time that the kids do each day. So I'll click into here. And again, this is going to be everything else. I will call this, let's see, I'm going to probably need to set up a couple of different things because we have different timelines for this, but we'll do daily devotional is the activity. And I think I'm going to need to we'll set up a Bible category. And let's do like a light blue. This is going to be for all the kiddos. We'll do every day of the week. And we're going to only have this on the schedule until September 11th, because after that we start Bible Study Fellowship and we're going to have different Bible assignments that I want them to do in the morning. So it's going to go until then. And for their shared tasks, I'm just going to fill in daily devotional. And usually for this, we do one of the not consumed devotional journals or any other kind of Bible study that we're doing or that I want my kids to do on their own. So we'll add that in. Okay, and while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and add that one more time because after BSF is done, I want to have this on the calendar. So we're just going to add it in real quick so that I don't forget. And this one is actually going to start, so we'll do every day of the week. It's not going to start until June because that's June of next year. So we'll go from, actually we'll probably go from about here until the end of June, and it'll be the same thing. So I just want to get everything set up for the year so I don't have to think about it or worry about it later. All right, and then I need to set up our BSF. So same type of thing, but once we start that, instead of doing their daily devotional, they're going to have their Bible study work. So I'm going to put BSF homework. It's going to be our Bible category. All 3 of my older kids. We're going to do every day except Tuesday, because that's when we have BSF. And we're going to start this in September. So we'll start on the 13th, and we're going to go through probably the end of May. So I started the other one here. Let's just go to here. I don't remember when it ends, but And then we'll type in BSF homework as the assignment, and it's going to go and assign it to all students. That is all that I want to schedule for this week. Remember, we're going to slowly kind of add things on. So let's go into the next week and add some things there. All right, so when I click into next week, you can see everything that I already added is in there. Now you do see learning language arts through literature. There's no assignments under here yet because I've added this to our school year, but they won't have any assignments this week just yet. And I haven't added our Heritage Studies assignment. That's why you're not seeing any check boxes here. But this week I do want to add in their math and their Latin assignments. We've been doing math throughout the summer, but we took a little break last week. So I'm going to go down, I'll click here, and this time I'm going to add a class. So my subject is going to be math, and their title, we're using CTC Math, so I'm just going to type in CTC Math. Now with this, I don't actually have to create any assignments because I create all of the assignments in CTC Math. I just add this to the planner so my kids remember to do it, and they have a checklist that helps them remember. So this is going to be every weekday they'll have it. It's going to start, let's see, I clicked on the 12th, that's why it was starting on the 12th, but I actually want them to start on the 10th, and it's going to go until that last day of our school year, which I guess would be the 28th of 2024. So since I don't have any assignments that I need to create specifically, but I want them to have that checkbox, I'm just going to type in complete CTC Math assignments, and we'll add that in here. Now, a couple of other things I guess I should have showed you. If I want to add any notes to this, I can do so under this tab. Grading, again, I'm not setting that up in here right now, but you can set up your grading. You can add a description. If you have maybe upper level courses, you need a description in here. This is really helpful. You can track hours here if you do want to do that. And then resources, this would be, if you want to add a resource to your schedule, if you had a specific website or something you wanted your kids to go to. My kids all know how to access CTC Math, so I'm not going to bother adding it here. But just so you know, all these are here. And I forget what's under options. Oh, show this class only on days for which there is an assignment. So you can check that box too if you want to. All right, so we'll do save and close. And now the math will show up in their checklist. The final thing I want to add is Latin. We are using First Form Latin through our homeschool co-op, which doesn't start until September, but we're going to be doing a little bit of practice every day. So I will add in First Form Latin, all my older kids as well. And we'll do every weekday starting the 10th, going until the end of our school year. And for right now, I'm going to leave the assignments blank. I am going to add in specific pages I want them to complete in their work, but I don't have the book in front of me right now. So I'm going to leave those blank for now, and I'll go in and edit those later. But this will at least just show up on the schedule for now, and the check boxes will show up once I add those lessons in there. Okay, so that's what our week of July 10th through 16 is going to look like. The next week is when I want to kind of roll into our language arts. This is going to be a new program for us this year, so I'm curious to see how it's going to go. I want to start that before we do everything all at once. And I start my preschooler, we start science, history, all of that stuff. So it's already here, but the lessons I didn't have the lessons start until August, and I actually want to change that. So I'm going to click in and edit this course, and you can see I didn't have lessons starting until August 7th. So I do want to move that up. So right now, if I want to move them to the 17th, what I'm going to do, we're going to give this a try. I think it will work. Let's see. Eliminate gaps in schedule from this day forward. So it should take out all of the gaps and start the assignment. Let's try it and see what happens. Okay, good. It worked. So it moved everything up. It just took out those gaps and it moved all of my lessons up. So now everything should be good. Looks like I had some vacation days scheduled there for some time off. So I'm going to leave that. And I'm just going to hit save and close. So now you see I've got check boxes there and it tells us what we're going to do for our literature that day. Same thing with this one. And I don't remember if I mentioned this, but this was another lesson plan that I purchased through the marketplace. So I didn't have to type any of this in, which I'm really thankful for. So we're going to move that up for my son too. Okay, so that's going to be it for this week. Just those language arts lessons, and we'll be all set. Now, when I move into the next week, I'm not actually going to add anything extra for my older kids to do, but I am going to add my preschooler's work to the calendar. Now, he is obviously too young to log in and use Homeschool Planet, and we are using My Father's World Voyage of Discovery. So I'm not going to add a lot of lessons in here because my teacher guide is going to tell me what I need to do every day. However, I just want to have, I like checkboxes, and I want to have something on here so that I can see it and I'm held accountable to getting it done every day. I may decide to go in and add different things in the future, but for now, I just want to see it on the calendar. So to do this, I'm going to add a person, and we'll do his name, and I will do the photo and everything else later, change the color, all that stuff later. But that adds Oliver to the calendar. So he will now show up in my drop down up here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in our class. And I think what I'm going to do, My Father's World encompasses lots of different subjects, but I'm not going to be breaking it down because we're going to be doing the My Father's World curriculum we have for my son and my older kids. We're going to do it all together. I'm just going to add in a subject called My Father's World. And since I'm not using this program to track hours or anything, it really, I don't think is going to make a big difference. This is the first time I've kind of done this, so we'll see if I like it and if I want to make any changes next year, but that's what we'll do for now. And I'll just call this Voyage of Discovery. It's going to be for Oliver. We're going to do it every day except for Thursday. Thursdays are our co-op days. So we're going to try to do a 4-week schedule with this. We'll start it on the 24th, go to the end of the year, and add. Okay, so that'll add those. And then I've got a checklist more for me to see so I can just be accountable. And like I said, I like to check boxes. Anyone else with me there? Am I alone? I don't know, but that is just going to help me this year. All right, so that's all I'm doing for this week. All right, so the next week I had set kind of as a break week. So I don't have any class stuff this week. We're just going to take a little bit of time off. And then the week after that, we will add in My Father's World, Exploring Countries and Cultures for my older kids, and we'll add in art class that we do once a week, and then typing. I have my kids do a little bit of typing every day. We use typing.com for that. So again, with My Father's World, this is a complete curriculum for our history, science. It does include Bible, art, and music. I'm not sure how much of that we're going to do, depending on our time constraints during the day. We may skip around with some of that, but mainly for history and science, lots of geography in here with it, which is great. So I do want to add this to the calendar. So if I go down here, this will be a class. I'm going to use the My Father's World that I set up, and we'll type in, this is going to be for my bigger kids. It will be every weekday. I may come in and change this. I am considering taking Thursdays off of this, again, because we've got co-op this day. And so that's going to be kind of a crazy day. But I think I'm going to leave it on for now and just kind of evaluate once we get going. Again, I can come in here and change this anytime I want to. So start and end dates look good. And I'm not splitting it up into all the different subjects here. I will be tracking hours in Homeschool Hall. So it's in there that I'll add in, our history hours, science hours, whatever. So we'll just add this to here for now. So it'll have the nice little checkbox, and we'll save and close. Okay, and then finally, just 2 more things. We will add art. We use creating a masterpiece for art. And everybody does this. Oliver's sometimes get a little creative, but he still participates with us, and we usually just do this every Friday. So I'm going to uncheck everything else. We'll do art, let's say lesson. Save and close. And then lastly, we will add in typing. I think I just had this under life skills last time. So we'll do typing for my 3 older kids. And I will have it on every weekday for now. Again, I may change that. Let's see. You know what? Actually, let's take it off of Thursday just because I know that's going to be a crazy day. And we'll do typing.com lesson. And they know typing.com is free and it's great because they log in and it tracks all their progress. So whenever they log in, they just start on the next lesson. And I'm not too particular. I just want them to do, 1 short little lesson or so a day just to keep practicing it. So we'll go there and then save and close. All right, so that should be everything that I want added to our schedules. It looks like a lot because I've got all the kids on here, but for example, when Luke wakes up, he logs into his Homeschool Planet calendar, and he's going to note some of the stuff he'll do on his own, some we'll be doing together. This we'll be doing together if we have any lessons I want to finish. This, I don't know how it's going to go. I think we're going to complete it together, but there might be some stuff he'll be able to do on his own. This is going to be together, but he knows when he gets down to here, he'll have music practice, he'll have his daily chores and his daily devotional. This he'll be completing on his own. Latin he'll be completing on his own. This we'll be doing together, and this he'll complete on his own. So basically, my kids know that when they log in, they scan down their list. Usually they start at the top, but I don't care if they skip around. They will do everything that they can do individually, and then the rest of it will come together and do together. So pretty easy. That's how you kind of add things to your calendar and get your whole school year planned and set up in very little time. All right, well, there it is. Did you stick with me the whole time through? I'm feeling pretty good because I've got everything planned out already for the next school year. So what I'll be doing in the next couple weeks is pulling out some of our new curriculum, reviewing teachers' guides, getting organized, making sure that I have everything that I need to get started when the time comes. I hope this was helpful for you to see how I organize my Homeschool Planet planner and how we're going to use it next year. Go check out Homeschool Planet. I will leave a link in the description, and you can get a 30-day free trial to play around with it, set things up, and see how you like it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content, and leave a comment below with any questions. See you next time.